Hello, hello. We appear to be in a prison cell, but that's okay. We can just get out using the hole that is underneath our bed. Unless that's not the prison cell that I'm thinking of, but it wouldn't hurt to check, right? This is the second time I've been in this cell. That leads credence to my theory that there's an escape route, at least as far as we know from the competence of this prison's staff. They probably didn't fill that hole up. All of my evidence has been taken from me. Oh no! Ah, but not that badge. Wait, hold on. Who is this? Oh, it's Jill Crane, okay. I never got a good look at her actual face. Victim, an attorney, member of the PIC, and Justine's colleague. Actually, how old is Franziska at this point? She was 17 when we first met her in the second Ace Attorney game, right? So I'm guessing she's like 18, 19 or something now? Yeah. The only thing I have left is Kei's Yatagarasu badge. I'm worried about Kei. Is she alright? By the way, kind of a random aside, but I kind of happened to listen to, well, I always listen to my recordings a little bit to make sure the sound is fine. And I kind of happened to listen to my own Edgeworth voice. And it is like, in my mind, I'm like, it's pretty like high pitched or something, but I listen to it and it barely sounds different from my regular tone. So that kind of surprised me a bit. But whatever. I'm worried about Kei. Is she alright? The culprit is me. It's not Kei. I remember looking down at the person in the red raincoat. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me. The culprit was me all along. Except it wasn't. You have a visitor? Please hurry out. A visitor? Who could it be? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Will you turn him down? No. It will be hard to face him, though. Good old Dick would never let us down. Would never give up on us. Or hurt us. Wait here. Not like we have much of a choice. He's not going to stay and keep watch. Pardon me. Oh, that's not Gumshoe. Judge Courtney, but I do like to imagine that she just mimicked Gumshoe's voice just now. Let's go with that. Hush. Please, have a seat. Why are you here? I was told the detective had come. If I didn't instruct them to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. I can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point. I should try to figure out what she wants. Yo, you want this badge? If it's about Kei Faraday, I believe she's being interrogated as we speak. No, I just wanted to give you that. You people, do you have any idea what you're doing? How dare you arrest an innocent person? That's not a very nice thing to say. I would ask that you correct your statement. She is merely someone you want to believe is innocent, and am I wrong? There's no decisive evidence to prove that she's the culprit. There's no evidence to prove her innocence either. That is so dumb. Enough of this, it's pointless. They keep doing this in this game, like, yeah, we don't have any evidence of this person being the culprit, but you can't prove that she didn't do it, so... The girl will be judged. There's nothing you can do to stop that. That is all there is to say about that. Now, let's get to the real issue at hand. The visit. Let me chuck some water, okay? Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. It's as if I'm some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility has hit rock bottom. But of course, your friends have fared a little better, though. That lawyer and that girl were both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Emma. When I last saw them, they were giving one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean... Be grateful, the goddess of law has been quite busy. They were spared punishment. It certainly seems like you have plenty of time for small talk. Oh yes, Prosecutor von Karma is presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right? I guess you saw right through me. So why are you here? Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning? I'm not planning anything. There's merely a question I wish to ask. You're asking me? Yes, of course. Who else is here? Objectively speaking, you are a clever individual, and you have a sharp mind. As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable. Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short. I am being completely sincere, and that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for example. You're up against the PIC. There's no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child could understand. And yet, you... Perhaps my younger self would not have done something so reckless. The me from before that had power. That's why I thought justice was on my side. Just like you right now. However, because of a certain man, my self-centered sense of justice was broken down. Ever since then, I began to see people in a different light. I'm able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me. People like Detective Gumshoe and all the other investigators, and Kay as well. Honestly, even I'm surprised at how much I've changed. I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little more. Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you who forces her own sense of justice onto others could never understand. I wonder about that. Is that what you think? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. Our conversation is coming to an end. However, I have one last thing to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate. If that's all you wanted to say, couldn't you have just sent me a messenger? The holy words of the gods of law simply cannot be entrusted to others. With that, Mr. Edgeworth, I bid you farewell. I shall be seeing you again later. Bye-bye. How very nice of her. Totally cool. Back in our cell. I guess we can walk around. Okay, let's check under the bed. It's a simple bed. I don't expect it to be very comfortable to sleep on. If it were Detective Gumshoe, he would probably snore loudly while sleeping like a log. I may never get a chance to work with him again. However, this is the path I chose. I won't regret it. Kind of. There are thick bars placed securely on the window. That reminds me, I watched a movie that had iron bars just like these. It was about a plan to escape a prison by filing it down the iron bars. That's such a new concept, I've never heard of it. Yeah, that's probably not the best. Also, hello, Fiber. But this is a prison cell, so, you know. Then again, it's a holding cell for people who haven't been declared guilty yet, so I do agree that it's kind of shitty. Of course, I wouldn't do such a thing. I don't even have a file. No, even if I had one, I still wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Of course. There's a poster on the wall next to the toilet. We are currently out of toilet paper. Please be prepared if you wish to use the toilet. Dang. I'm pretty alright. You know, the regular. How about you? What does it mean by be prepared? Be prepared. That's what it means. It wants you to break into song. I mustn't neglect my personal appearance just because I'm in a holding cell. Wow. Prosecutor or not, this is my personal duty. My collar is slightly bent. There. A well-groomed appearance reflects a well-groomed mind. From here on, I'll need to focus myself more than ever. Uh-huh. Wow, that must have been really fun. There's a dining menu sitting on the desk. It seems I can get food delivered if I pay for it. Let's see. Moldy white bread lunch set. That's okay. Switch to moldy whole wheat bread for an extra $1. Oatmeal and grits set meal. For a limited time, get extra gruel at no additional cost. Thank goodness I'm not hungry right now. Yeah, building things can be pretty annoying. Let me out. Yes, definitely what they say. There's a poster hanging in the hallway. The Dice and Slice game. Roll the dice and decide your daily menu. The Dice and Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to it. There's no need to apologize for cancelling such a silly game. Hey man, that's just what you think, okay? Another visitor. Kay! It seems you're alright. I'm relieved, for now. You know, this is kinda touching. You look a little down, Kay. Please cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong, I guarantee it. Well, because she's still in that clothing because this is a sprite-based video games and making many sprites is expensive. Please just accept it. I'm a murderer. That's not true. Why won't you believe in yourself? What should I believe in? I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to believe in? That's not true. Before you lost your memories, you literally jumped into my life. As a result, your words and actions have become engraved in my memories. That's the mark you left behind. How can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That's why you must believe in yourself as well. Thank you. But it's no use. Look at all the misfortune I've brought upon you. If you can, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday. Couldn't possibly. Kay! You know, this takes me back. In my youth, I too was a gallant. Is this the kind of justice that the PIC seeks? Justice, huh? I wonder. This man, what is he planning? He's planning to have somebody else take the fall for his own crimes. Why is he pushing things forward so forcibly? It all seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? What? No way. There is no time left. It's all or nothing now. Well then, I must take my leave. Hold it. Whoa. You've entered my stand. Within my stand, we play a mental chess game. And if you lose, you have to tell me everything. Yeah, it's probably in his beard, yeah. No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. There must be something behind it. Oh shit. Those are some powerful looking pieces. He's got 2 horses, 1 tower guy, and a castle thing. Those are the original, the official chess names, by the way. Especially horsey. Hey, I'm a busy man, you know. I'm kind of a big deal, you see. I trust this won't take up too much of my time. In order to make it out of this situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask, but my time is limited. First, I'll ask about why he rushed the arrest. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation. I hope so. Begin! Why did you rush her? Why did you rush her arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow the proper procedures. Okay, maybe you should pipe down a bit. Do you even know the position you're in? You shouldn't be playing with fire. Wait and see? I don't know. Suppose we let the criminal escape. What do you think will happen? What will happen? I would be made to take responsibility, you see. I do hope you understand. Just take my advice and stay out of this, if you know what's good for you. I refuse. Kay is innocent. Also, what he said didn't really make sense. You know, this is so pitiful. It brings me to tears. Why won't you just give up? Things were finally going well. Things were going well. That's a strange way to put it. It almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality? Right, you do pronounce the I in there, right? Impartiality. You think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy. You're reading too much into it. He skillfully avoided the issue. Was that really skillful? However, I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. Next, I shall ask him if the investigation was sufficient. I can't miss even the tiniest piece of information. That's the only way to break through this situation. How long did you put it? How much time was spent on the investigation? You know, I wonder about that. I don't really remember, you see. There's no way I can accept such a careless answer. Like I said, I don't remember. My memory's not as sharp as it used to be, you see. Sometimes I even forget my own son's name. I don't care about your idiot son. I want your answer regarding the investigation. Yes, he really is an idiot, even though I don't remember raising him like that. I probably didn't raise him at all. There's no end to this. He just keeps on dodging the question. I'll need more info, huh? Oh, let's try another line of attack to make him take me seriously. Was it under your authority? It's hard to say that the investigation was sufficient. The arrest, was it under your authority? My, do I really look that important? You just said you were. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee Chairman. It's quite a prominent title, and a fucking long one. Takes up almost 2 lines by itself. Not that I care for it much. That was rather blunt. I am so shocked I could cry. I'm sorry, flattery was never my forte. If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back, you know. I don't need my badge. Let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me, do you understand? Young, so young. Let me teach you something as your senior in life. What you're saying right now, it's far too naive, you see. The look in his eyes has changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now, okay? That's the first time that has happened like that, I think. This is my chance. How long did you well, aren't you impertinent? Aren't you an impertinent one? Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed. What a coincidence, I feel the same way. Answer me, was the investigation sufficient? Young folks always live life in the fast lane. That's why I like to bully them. You'll regret this soon enough. What are you burning every time anyway? Wait and see, I guess. Though that's not exactly the same as the other time. You sure are quiet. Are you scared? Okay, well. Ridiculous. I was just thinking about my next strategy, on how to extract information from a weepy old man. You should show some remorse, you know. Don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. I guess that was okay. In any case, even if you obtained some information, there's nothing you can do. Just give up already. I refuse. Mind if I ask why? It's simple. The truth is fading away. That's all there is to it. I see. I'm starting to understand what kind of person you are. But you know, it's all useless. It's enough to make me cry. Give it up. That girl's guilt has already been decided. Decided? That's strange. The way you said that, it almost sounds like it was decided from the very beginning. Wow. What are you trying to say? Her arrest was planned. Yes, it's clearly unnatural. Everything is progressing as if Kay's guilt was predetermined. Wasn't Kay's arrest planned from the start? Wham! I see. That's an interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know. Why don't we put an end to this silly conversation? Curses, he's trying to get away. Before that, I must find out if the arrest was lawful. Shit, man, I don't like that sped up music because it makes me think the timer's gonna go faster too. It's still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path to the truth. I can't let this opportunity slip by. I have more to ask you, I don't know. Please wait, there's still something I want to ask you. I've grown weary of our little tete-a-tete. Please keep it short again. What's the basis? No. If I put together what you have told me up till now, I cannot help but say that there's no basis for Kay's arrest. Okay. Yes, I understand, you see. But you know, it doesn't really matter either way, you can't overturn her arrest. How irresponsible, do you still claim to be a man of the law? My, those are some harsh words, you know. You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. You see, to be honest, I really can't answer all of your questions, you know. That's just the position I'm in, you see. I'm a busy man, you know. Aren't you just pretending to be busy? That's cruel, you know. This old chunk of coal has been working like a dog. Pretending. Just what do you think that would accomplish? You don't want to talk about it? I don't know. You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that why you're trying to get away from this place? Okay. How sad, yes, how sad indeed. You really suspect little old me, obviously. I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There was clearly no basis for Kay's arrest. My, have you forgotten? Wasn't there evidence? The mask, the ladder, and the corsage, all were found in the girl's possession. Not to mention, she even confessed. All of this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections? I mean, if you're gonna play around with your fire. See, you have no response. It's true, I have no objections. Although there is one point that bothers me. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. To remember everything without missing a beat. That intrigues me. This could be a useful clue. Kay's not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see. Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. Yeah. What? Okay, I guess that's not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go with the other one again and pick something else. Okay, fine. Fuck, man. Jeez. It's no use. Well, okay, thanks, dude. That was kind of unfair. Who made the decision, I guess? I don't know. Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old is a terrible thing, you see. My memory is not what it used to be, you know. Perhaps I should use a clue. You remember all the evidence. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all of the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be forgetful, a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. It is true, though, that you can, at the same time, remember some things really well and others not at all. So it, you know, could be a coincidence. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? I see, you're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot. I'm not interested in your son. Who made the decision for the arrest? You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest. It was you. The person right in front of me, I'm certain of it. Obviously. Ouch. You make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. You did. Guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor's at stake here, you see. Very well, I'll continue to play along with you until you are satisfied. What is most crucial here is how much this man knows about this case. If I can get him to reveal that. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. About Kay. A suspect regarding Kay. How much do you know about her? She's the suspect in this case, that's all I know, you see. Scout's honor. Okay. As long as I don't get a penalty for this, I'm okay with being wrong, you know. Well, you seem to know quite a bit. You seem pretty familiar with the case. I'm a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see. I don't think it was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case. Stop playing with fire. I'm a very busy man. I can end this conversation anytime I want, you know. Don't you forget about that. This would have already been over if you had simply answered my questions. If you give me a proper answer, I won't take any more of your time. I will ask you once again, why are you so familiar with this case? Honestly, it was quite a drag, you know, but it's my job, so what could I do? Because of my position, you see, I can't just skip out of it. Well, I had some time to kill, so I read the whole thing, you see. You read all of it? All of what? Fucking... Shut up. I wonder what you're doing. Me. Come on, man. Don't waste my time. Shut up. shut up! Just go! Huh. Come on. Wait and see. Bruh, 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 bruh. You just said you were busy. That's strange, didn't you just say you were very busy? We've already cleared up that he's just pretending to be busy. Why would we have to go over this again? Aren't your faults slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind the arrest order. You really are desperate, you know. That never say die attitude. It touches my heart. Well, but not your soul, apparently, if you even have one. But you know, it's unfortunate that all your hard work was for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see. Aha, that's new. You found her. This is the first I've heard of Kay's condition when she was found. She was unconscious in the storeroom. That's right. The source of that information is classified, though. This man knows things even I don't know. Does he know the whole story behind this case? Of course. This could be a useful clue. So, about Kay again. Something you've said feels out of place. You know about things that the crime scene investigation never revealed. Why is that? Just how much of the truth do you know? You're making that forceful face again. You know, it kinda makes me want to do the same, like this. Well, then we'll just wait until your lighter runs out of gas. Or oil, or whatever you use. You really are a persistent one, you know. But I can admire that, you see. I will take that as a compliment. Can't you give it a rest already? At my age, my body's not as strong as it once was, you know. There's no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she committed the crime. Given that much evidence, huh? Just as I said. She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. It almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will. What about that, old man? He's probably not that old. I see. You really do have a fine eye for the details, as expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. No, you're just bad with words. You've already found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back. I have finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. Now, all that remains is to strike the final blow. Kay is not the culprit, I guess? Kay is not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see, Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. I shall break through this with that clue. The burr. It's so dumb, though. The clue we needed for she's not the culprit is somebody else was the culprit. Wow. Kay was framed. The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. Obviously, the actual clue that we have is bigger than that, but like just the statement there was so silly. That is my answer. Bam! Ah! Oh no! Whew. What up now? Yes, you're a clever one. It almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know. Yes, it's as you say. Checkmate. Or is it? Whoopee. You arrested Kay even when you knew of the existence of the true culprit. Don't toy with me, there's no way such an act would be tolerated. You sure are green, you know. That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do. What? It will all work out fine if we make her guilty. Who would desire such a resolution? Well, can't you think of any people, Edgeworth? Really? Aren't you supposed to be a prodigy? If I had to say, maybe the PIC, and also maybe me, you know? When I heard your words just now, I could barely hold back my tears, you know? It was just so splendid, you see, and it burns me up inside. I'm not the most perfect piece of work, you know, so I can't forgive such youthfulness. But say that you say the truth is important, but you know, once you know the real value of the truth holds, I wonder if you can still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you can just create your own truths anytime you want. Kay Faraday is the culprit. That was the truth that I simply manufactured out of thin air. Good, very good. That face, that expression. You were such a desperate one, you see. That's why I really wanted to bully you, you know. You see, even if you know the truth, there's simply nothing you can do. And that's the real value of truth. So shocking that it's to die for, you know. Why won't you pursue the true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? Do you understand now? The truth that you believe in is worthless, you see. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, powerless former prosecutor? You! Oh, scary, scary. You know, I guess the friends of a heinous criminal are also quite heinous themselves. Blaze, you! And like this, you see, one more person will disappear before me. Here come the waterworks. These tears of mine just won't stop, you know. He must, like, be drying out. Jeez. He better, like, go somewhere and drink a whole bunch of water to fill back up. Everything will be decided in today's deliberation. Kay's innocence, I will definitely prove it. So I guess we're using the hearing as a replacement trial thing. Grand Tower PIC meeting room. 10 members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. Why are they even having this trial, this thing, if Miles already quit being a prosecutor? What could they possibly accomplish here? Like maybe he's, you know, not officially out of office yet, or whatever you want to call that. But, I mean, they sure made it sound like he is. Anyway. A clear conscience. Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give us your report. Let me have some water. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by 2 of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze the Best. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claims that the culprit Kay Faraday was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here in the PIC meeting room. Regarding the details, I, Sebastian the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian the Best, will explain the rest of the details. The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. So far he hasn't been wrong. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction, yep. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? Oh wait, oh, Cotton said that, whatever. When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced, oh you did, huh, that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You weren't the one who made that deduction. Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean her guilty conscience. Yes, it was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession on the roof of this building, she met a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat? Yes, that is correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat. It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building. He did? I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was the forensics team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it. I thought as much. According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified that she killed her. That's right, the culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anyone else but her. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them. I have no objections. I see. It seems all the fight's gone out of you after your... I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit. I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just. Isn't that not the problem? Shouldn't you be like, that's not the problem here? That's not what we're talking about here. Shut the fuck up, Edgeworth. GG, no re. That's what they should be saying. But, luckily they are not. Haha, of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I'm the fairest of them all? Are you? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kinda like you. And this is only just an if, you see, if you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. Wow. Totally the words of an innocent man. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth, do you have any objections? Don't take me for a fool. I'd advise you to watch what you say. This man is the one who should watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not about a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case. A testimony from us, eh? Fine then, if that's what it takes to make you happy. Courtney, give him the materials from the investigation. Sir, but that's... It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. What a fool! If you insist, Mr. Chairman. Yay! Let me check if everything's there. Or if I can tell if anything's missing. I feel like there was more... No, oh, okay, I don't have my attorney's badge. That's what's missing. Victim's fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. Why don't we have Courtney give the testimony? I have no objections. Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, Kay. You just watch from over there. Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Is it though? Oh, from the storeroom. I guess unless well, I guess that's kinda sorta true. Miss Crane went out to the viewing platform where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes my summary of the case. The red raincoat was up for auction. Is that a fact? It is quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt on the president of Zhengfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place, but when I asked about it, I learned that it went missing. And it somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion. My, well done, Courtney. Your explanation is as clear as ever. I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, will you concede defeat now? Nah. Heh. Sorry, but I don't plan on it. I see. I am relieved. Relieved? What is that? What does she mean? Come to think of it, her reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? Rebuttal. I think we should press things for now.
Hold it!
So you're saying that a member of the PIC was involved in illicit dealings? Regarding that, I have no response. He's right, you know. After this hearing is over, we're going to have to clean up our act. A splendid decision, Mr. Chairman. No, it is only natural, you see. There's no need to flatter me, you know. But, you know, that has nothing to do with you at all, Edgeworth. Because by now, by then you won't even be a prosecutor anymore, you see. Well, now that the steerful business has been cleared up. Yes, sir, I will continue. Well, we just heard an explanation about that, but let's press it anyway. So the red raincoat was also up for auction. Yes, it had belonged to Shelley the Killer. Based on the circumstances, we must consider that it was an item up for auction, you see. That was what he wore when he targeted the president of Zhengfa. There was a mannequin that was positioned naturally amongst the auction goods. Yeah, that's probably where the coat was, huh? That may have been where the red raincoat had been up on display. Do you know how the goods were procured? We're currently investigating it, but it's none of your concern, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Nice of her to call me that, I guess. Soon you will be nothing more than an ordinary individual, and then you will be finished. It seems the results of this deliberation have already been decided. Enough about me. Please continue your testimony. Since the raincoat had been up for auction, we believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. Why would the victim immediately leave her seat? That had to do with how the auction was conducted. It seems that after the winning bid, the winner was required to pay for the item immediately. That matches up with Miss Hart's testimony. We believe that Miss Crane paid her bid for the raincoat, and then immediately tried to leave the auction. The victim was a PIC member. Couldn't she have also just left from the meeting room? Well, but then she would have been found out, probably. If she had done so during the auction, then its existence would have been revealed to the public. Since Miss Hart knew about it, it seems the cat is already out of the bag. The customers were required to enter and exit from the hatch. Miss Crane was simply following protocol. Considering where the murder took place, she must have tried to leave through there. Why would Kay do such a thing? We intend to question her about that later. Later? That seems to be your favorite time for interrogations. If the culprit was aware that the customers were required to exit from the hatch, it would have been easy to lie in wait for an ambush. Miss Crane was attacked when she was leaving the hatch. Met her end. What do you mean by that? She passed away, or to be more precise, she was murdered. I mean, what else could you mean? That's not what you meant. The candelabra was one of the items in the auction. Therefore, Kay should not have been able to get her hands on it. If she was able to lie in wait for the attack, then she must have known about the storeroom. If she sneaked into the storeroom during the auction, she could have obtained it. Now, if we only had some way to know for sure where the candelabra was during the entire auction, you know, how about it? There is no such evidence. My apologies, we hope to find that evidence soon. Edgeworth, it's too bad, you know. It seems you won't be able to use this line of attack. The victim encountered the culprit on top of the roof and the crime occurred there. According to her reasoning, the murder took place at the viewing platform. But was that really the case? Probably not. Some piece of evidence must tell the whole story behind it. I should try looking again. Yeah, you didn't need to say all that. Went out to the viewing platform where she was attacked. We have these stains here and here. It's probably this. No? Oh, okay. Shut up. Come on. Let me just button through this, please. I hate this. Because it's obvious you're bluffing. Yeah, I know. Next time I will. Yep, definitely, for sure. I guess we have Lada's testimony. Like when the auction was being held in the Grand Tower, there had 11 people attended. The auction continued even after wait. Why does this testimony not include the info about the murder? Lame. Killer hit the victim in this box. Full of blood. Went out to the viewing platform where she was attacked. That was how she met her end. It's gotta be this statement, right? The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch. Yeah, no. It's gotta be this statement. Covered in the PSC meeting room, submitted time test sometime between last night and the midnight. Cause of death, stab wound to the left chest. We still haven't figured out the head wound, have we? Does this say anything that I forgot about? The victim's fingerprints and blood were found on the... well... How is it not this? Do I try this then? But like, that doesn't really prove anything. because that's just where the weapon was pulled out. So that doesn't really say much. The killer hit the victim in this box, the bloodstain was found inside. That doesn't contradict this specific statement, though. Maybe I could present that here, saying like she didn't actually leave, but I feel like that doesn't quite overlap with the statement here, you know? The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. That just seems like a correct statement. Outside of course, you know, going down there, but I don't think that's the problem here. This crane went out to the viewing platform. I guess that's where this also fits better, right? She never actually went to the viewing platform. Maybe? Nope. Ah ha ha. Shut up. Shut up, just penalize me. I know, I'm sorry. How she met her end. Maybe there's some info here that I forgot about. No. Contains a cross-section of the... touch the check button. Cross decoration shaped like a purple flower. Nope. Oops. Three-pronged candelabra, thought to be the murder weapon, matches the victim's chest wounds. Yeah, that doesn't contradict anything here. Conductor wore a white jacket with a purple flower. Blood is testimony about the secret auction. Let's check again. The black market auction was being held in the Grand Tower. The items up for auction were pieces of evidence from past cases. 11 people attended the event. Each one of them was wearing a mask. The auction continued even after Jill Crane's murder. I don't think that contradicts with anything here. Worn by the participants. Yeah, no. I don't know. I guess I'll present this just because I'm out of ideas. Yep. Can I just skip through this now? Thank you. Oh man. Went out to the viewing platform. Maybe I just press it again. Nope. I think so. I think it is. Well, I guess this photo might contradict it a bit, because when she was leaving she already had those red stains, right? Maybe I should have thought about that earlier. Yeah. Dang. That makes sense. I was just not paying attention to the contents of that photo. Even though I had that thought earlier, I just... Well, it happens. Judge Courtney, I have found it to be strange for a while now. Why is Miss Hart here with us? She is an eyewitness to this case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance? Aw, shucks. I reckon I'm more of an ear-witness than an eyewitness. Heh, it seems that gaining the trust of others isn't your strong point, Judge Courtney. Perhaps I simply do not wish to be as tactless as you. It appears you have failed to get the witness to tell you the most vital information. Please look at this photo. This was taken by Miss Hart. Like most of the games have 4 cases, right? The only one I can think of for sure that has 5 is the first game, but only on the DS. Originally, it only had 4. So, makes sense that the 4th case here would also be the last. And also, you know, given what this is about, with the PIC and all that, should be the final one. This photo seems to have been taken in the storeroom, and what of it? Oh, wrong voice, whatever. According to your reasoning, the incident took place on the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right, it had taken place just before this photo was taken. Why? If that's true, then Justine's reasoning... Exactly, it does not hold up. What? We've never seen her be wrong before. Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in the photo with your own eyes, correct? I sure did. I seen him plain as day with my own 2 eyes. And what did you think at the time? I figured I was about to get me a big scoop, you know? I guess that makes sense. That's not what I meant. What did you think of that person? Huh? Well, I reckon she'd help me bring home the bacon. Are you mocking me? Oh, shucks, don't make me that scary old face. It was just a harmless little joke. The person in the red raincoat, I reckon they were the culprit. I hope you understand now. The crime... Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more than willing to explain. Explain what? The sounds Miss Hart heard may not necessarily be related to the case. That is impossible. Enough of your excuses. Was the voice that Miss Hart heard really that of Miss Crane? Such a shady conversation must have had something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, it beats me. How was I supposed to know? They were both using voice changes. Yes, the voices Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have any bearing on this case. What? That's fucking stupid. The fact that they had voice changers means it was definitely involved with the auction. Come on. Huh. You need not object just because you wish to sigh. Judge Courtney, it seems I have greatly overestimated you. No, Courtney is quite amazing, you see. You claim that the sounds Miss Hart heard have no bearing on this case. Even if they do not, it doesn't change the fact that the crime took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being... This evidence proves the remember. This blood. At first, I thought the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Well, Miss Hart's testimony certainly made it sound that way. Precisely, it was because she saw that the person's hand was covered in blood. Anyone who heard her testimony would have arrived at that same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was the culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, then the situation changes completely. Since the blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime occurred. It seems we've been under the wrong impression in regards to the victim's condition. This photo shows the true condition of the victim. The victim was really the conductor, struck the culprit, was still alive after the attack. Still alive after the attack? I don't think so. Was really the conductor, yeah? Struck the culprit? I don't know. Nope. I feel like I've missed something there. Even after the victim was hit, the auction still went on. I know. I thought there would have been some turnaround on that, but no. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. I was guessing. I'm sorry. This photo was taken after Miss Hart heard the sounds in the storeroom. In that case, the blood on that hand must mean... Indeed, there's only one answer. In other words, the victim, I guess, was still alive. Okay. The victim was definitely attacked in the storeroom. Immediately afterward, the victim was seen with blood on their hand. That must mean the victim was still alive even after she was attacked. The blood on her hand must have come from her own wound. No way! Are you saying that she died from a hand injury? No, that is not the case. I suspect she just held her hand against the wound. It can't be seen in the photo, but at this moment, she must have already suffered a fatal wound. Ho ho ho. If that's true, then it changes a lot of things, you know. It seems you understand. This refutes the allegations against Kay. Kay encountered the victim after the picture was taken. I believe that at that point in time, the victim was already on the verge of death. It's likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength. That is quite a coincidence. Indeed, I can only say that she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems you have forgotten a crucial fact. Ah, you mean that, right? He must be pretending that he hasn't noticed, you see. What did you say? Are you implying that I forgot something? Courtney, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey Pops, Justine's with me, you know? Don't order her around like that. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing. I'm not embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing. Makes you feel kinda bad for this dumbass. How much of an asshole his father is being to him. Justine, give Miss Edgeworth his, Very well. I shall give him his last rites. Well, I will give myself some water. When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I'm sure you're well aware what kind of wounds these were, right? Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with a 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Well done, Justine. With this, Mr. Edgeworth will... I will offer a rebuttal, of course. Why would you do that? Didn't you hear what Justine just said? Of course I did, and I still plan to object to it. It's not fair! You're always opposing me at every turn. It was never my intention to oppose you. Huh? Really? It's simply not worth my time. I see, so that's how it is. Yep, after all, That's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see. Huh? What do you mean, Pops? If it's for the sake of embarrassing you, Blaze, I will do anything in my power. 3 wounds, Press that shit. That sounds rather painful. Indeed. We must punish the culprit accordingly. Kay, do not listen to what she says. Judge Courtney, please continue your reasoning. Very well, she had 3 wounds. I mean, I don't really see much of a reason to press everything here, but I'm gonna do it. Why don't you ask Sebastian instead? Of course, Sebastian knows all about it. Huh? Me? Yeah, I know everything. He's obviously lying. Sebastian, maybe you should sneak a peek at the autopsy report, you know. Let's see here. The fatal wound was caused by the candelabra. Oh, so that's how it was. Ahem. The cause of the wound was just as Sebastian said. Let's press it anyway. So the cause of death was a stab wound to the heart, is that correct? Yes, the candelabra pierced right into her heart. Since this was Dr. Young's medical opinion, it must be the truth. The coroner's medical opinion follows my own opinion, therefore it's perfect. I certainly cannot ignore the autopsy report, however. Hey, don't ignore my opinion. However, if the cause of death was a stab wound to the victim's chest, wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? Oh, he's totally ignoring me. Justine, say something. Yes, I will not allow you to ignore my reasoning. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Well, they made it sound like I can present something here, but I'm still gonna keep pressing first. At the very least, we cannot be certain that she died instantly. Even if she still had a little bit of life left, I doubt she would have been held on for long. Can people survive after being stabbed in the chest? In some cases, maybe they can. Although maybe they can't. Very helpful, thank you. So in the end, which one is it? No such human exists. If you think they do, then first... Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Sure, I will. Do I even have it? I do. Stab wounds to the chest. Head wound was post-mortem. The victim's body was discovered in the PIC meeting room. The estimated time of death is somewhere between blah blah. The cause of death was stab wounds to the left chest with a candelabra. Head wound was post-mortem burn mark on the victim's hand. I guess I'll just finish pressing everything while I'm here. According to the autopsy report, the stab wound to the left chest caused the fatality. Correct. The autopsy report itself is the foundation for my reasoning. But obviously the coroner was in on this entire thing. I think I do recall kind of a big thing about this case just now. Anyway. In other words, I just have to shatter that foundation, right? I don't find that amusing at all. I look forward to seeing you try. Nevertheless, please take a close look at the autopsy report before you make a rebuttal. Yeah, at this point I've become pretty sure that I did. Just like the only case that I remembered like almost nothing about was the first case, which is why it took me a while to realize that I had played it before. For some reason, I don't know why the first case is the one that I just didn't remember. Show me that your reasoning is not just mere conjecture. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth. We'll be fine, Kay. There's nothing for you to worry about. Evidence that the victim was alive after the incident. If I can just find that, Kay will be... Stab in the heart. I guess actually we don't have anything against that. But they made it sound like that's the... Which was the statement where they were suggesting that I should present? I'm sure you're well aware of it. Because I don't think I can... Is there any person... This sounds like a more likely thing to present something at. Even though I think this is the one where they made it sound like I should. Alright, let's look around. Proof that she moved around after that thing. Well, I mean, that photo kind of seems like it. Wait. 12:52 a.m. And between late last night and midnight. So doesn't that contradict that actually? But if it did, then why did it take so long for us to talk about it? That doesn't seem right. Before I present, let me press again. No. Phoenix Wright is immortal. He is a phoenix, obviously. Press again to see which one they wanted me to present at. If the cause of death was a stab wound to the victim's chest, wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? I guess it is here, and we're gonna say something else, Coda. Of course, that makes total perfect sense. Well, I guess this piece of evidence doesn't make sense. But we've already done that one, right? Letter addressed to the victim, thought to be written by K, touched the check. Okay, it doesn't say anymore that it was found in the left pocket, so it doesn't make sense to do that. Yeah, I saw that they are gonna make a... I mean, I thought you meant the anime, but we already talked about the card game. No, I still haven't watched that anime. Stab in the heart with a 3-pronged candelabra. Thought to be the murder weapon, matched the victim's chest wounds. I don't see anything that contradicts that as the cause of death, except for this, but they removed the part that contradicts this, and we've already talked about it, so... None of these contradict with that at all. Estimated time of death is sometime between late last night and midnight. Yeah, that just definitely contradicts the keycard thing, but I guess that doesn't have anything to do with this. Stab wounds to the left chest of the candelabra. Head wound was post-mortem. Stabbed in the heart. Black market auction was being held. 11 people attended. Yeah, no. What do you want from me, game? Oh, I guess the fact that this doesn't have any chest holds, maybe, but it could have just been open once you got stabbed, I guess. Maybe. Okay. Chairman the Best, do you know what this is? It seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you all over again? I suppose it just might come to that. Judge Courtney, answer me this. This red raincoat was stained with blood. Do you happen to remember where specifically those bloodstains were located? Of course I do. They were on the hood. Wait, that can't be. What does that mean? Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains out besides the ones on the hood? None were detected. Don't you think it's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. However, the only blood they found was on the hood. Did it say that specifically? Did I once again just not read the thing properly? Victim's fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. Oops. I just kind of took hood to mean raincoat, I guess. Reading is hard, okay? Can't expect me to be able to read. This is a huge contradiction. The wound on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest. It does appear that way, doesn't it? The victim first suffered the head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that her chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So the order of the wounds would be first the head, followed by the chest. However, does that really change the situation? With this, a contradiction is born, one that overturns all of our assumptions up until now. Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction. Why don't you show it to me? With evidence. Didn't we just do that? Which piece of evidence shows the contradiction that arises from the the autopsy report, maybe? Or are you saying something else? The photo also, maybe? The autopsy report would definitely be wrong. Let's go with that. Okay. This is the autopsy report written by Dr. Young. According to this, the head wound was post-mortem. But that's not what the raincoat shows. Exactly, it is the exact opposite. Bailiff, hurry and summon Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Until we hear what she has to say, we cannot close the curtains on this case. Because that's definitely what this hearing is about. Yes, ma'am, understood. Yes, ma'am, understood. I thought for some reason there was something after understood, but there wasn't. Dr. Young is a busy person. It will take some time for her to arrive. In the meantime, let us try viewing this case from another angle. There's something that's been on my mind. One of the key figures in this case. The conductor. We still don't know who that person is. Now that you mention it, even after our investigation, we still have no idea who it is. The conductor has come up time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas? Oh, yes I do. I'm still not sure at the moment, however. There is someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved with this case who might know something about it. Who's that? It's you! No, just kidding. But it's your dad! Blaze the best. I demand your testimony. What? Don't say such a stupid thing. Why would you suspect Pops? Because he's super suspicious. Are you trying to cast suspicion towards the chairman of the PIC? Yeah. Do you understand what that means? Status and prestige mean nothing to me. Nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay. The evidence that was in Kay's possession, the ticket stub, the mask, the corsage. These items did not come into her possession out of her own volition. By some method, that man purposely planted them on her personage. It is hard to believe such a sudden accusation, but I'll ask just in case. Why would he do that? Obviously to direct suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from him earlier. Mr. Chairman, your response? Are you too shocked to speak? And what of it? Huh? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, what of it? You say you drew out some words from me, but you don't have any shred of proof, do you? You know. No one else heard it, but you. It just doesn't work like that, you see. Or do you have something else, you know? Some kind of basis for your argument? Well, I happen to have my smartphone with me and I recorded the entire conversation. Would be a valid response nowadays. Except I guess he had all of his stuff taken in that cell, so maybe not. This confidence, he also showed it at the cell. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust we have your permission, Mr. Chairman. But of course, I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know. I'd like to know just what part of me seems criminal to Edgeworth. Oh, what part doesn't seem criminal. There's no one as honest as I am, you see. How can he say that with a straight face? Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this room is a cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it would be difficult for non-members to enter. That's why all the members have keycards, you know? I think we can assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be the best. Wow, good job. What's your name again? Fuck, what's his fucking first name again? Sebastian, right? Yes, because the conductor had to have been a PIC member. Wait, no! What? What was that all about? What do I do, Pops? I just helped the enemy! Haha, Sebastian really is an idiot, you know. But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access, you know. Indeed, there are 11 members of in the PIC. Even if we rule out the victim, Miss Crane, there are still 10 potential suspects. Or maybe all of them are, you know, in on it, or most of them. Some of them. It's not me. But it could be the chairman, right? I don't know who it is, but whoever... Yes, everyone, just calm down, you know. Edgeworth, is that all you got? Where's the evidence to suspect me? Oh, so you've fallen silent? But you've gone too far, you see. I won't forgive you anymore. It's too late for regrets, you know. I'm a very important man, you see, former chief prosecutor and chairman of the PIC. You spit hot game, but you are quite lame. Boom, I just fucking battle style rapped him to death, man. No one's ever hit harder lines than I just did. Fucking destruction. Hand me the World Award for Best Diss. Anyway, it's fine if you're not prepared to face the fire, you know, cause you see, either way, it won't make any difference. You've been rambling on for quite a while about the most trivial details, you know. Are they trivial though? Like the location of the murder, the order of the wounds, and what else was there? It just doesn't matter, you know. Because you see, none of that means anything, you know. Think about it. We've got the suspect herself saying she killed the victim. That's all that matters, you see. She'd even get a lighter sentence with her confession, you know. Well, but she has memory loss. How much does a fucking confession from an amnesiac matter? Come on. Well then, if there are any contradictions, be my guest. How can that be considered a testimony? There must be a contradiction somewhere. That person, he's very important, isn't he? Nah, he sucks. Mr. Edgeworth, it's alright. Let's just give up. Surely I must have killed her. I can't even remember it. Don't be tied down by your muddled memories. If you want to believe in something. Believe in these nuts. Oh, what? Believe in your own innocence. Believe in me, who believes in you. Hey, that must have been another sneaky fan translation reference. I guess that's also something you could just say, but still. But my opponent is the PIC chairman. Taking him down won't be easy. However, he has underestimated me. If I can take advantage of that... I'm gonna close my blinds real quick. Done. Let's just press some more. If these trivial details create contradictions in the case, we cannot call it the truth. It's fine, as long as the rest of the case makes sense, you know. Every case is going to have a small contradiction or two, you see. But if we get bogged down by the details, we won't be able to arrest the criminal. Trials would go on forever, you see. You, of all people, should understand, you know. I don't. That's why I'm asking you. Young folks these days. Anyways, you were rambling on about stuff. You're the one who's rambling. What else was there, indeed? The autopsy report and the questions about the conductor. Were you even listening? Talk is cheap, you know. I was listening, you see. But I didn't think much of it, you know. You didn't think much of it, even after I brought up all those issues. Perhaps your judgment needs to be questioned rather than my ability as a prosecutor. That's a good one, Edgeworth. But you see... it just doesn't matter. Oh wait. It does matter. It matters to me, damn it. No wait, it's real to me. Whatever, it still works. How can you say that? It doesn't matter. Are you trying to suppress the truth? Well, you see, it simply doesn't matter as much as you say it does, you know. See, Edgeworth, you're only saying it matters to avoid the real issue here. But it may be true she confessed, however, that does not make it the truth. She is suffering from memory loss, so we must question the credibility of her testimony. Whoa! Like, the first, fraction of that sound bit was, so strange and loud. Garbled, almost. Even if you say that, you know, it still won't solve anything. What good will it do to deny her confession? Sounds like nonsense to me. When you try asking her again, I think she'll just say that she's the murderer again, though. Very well, let's try asking her again, one last time. I'd like to hear from Kay herself, whether or not she is the culprit. Huh? From me? Will that be alright? If this goes poorly, it will be quite unfavorable for you. I do not mind, however, I shall ask Kay the question myself. I'm moved to tears, you know. Oh, how touching, you know. How very touching. Fine then, I'll let you ask her. However, I have one condition. If all this proves to be a waste of time... Yeah. Then that will be the end of it. How's that sound? The end? Of the hearing? Yes, yes. It seems you can be smart once in a while, Sebastian. In other words, you see, if she confesses again, Kay Faraday will be found, beyond all shadow of a doubt, guilty. Yep, it's fine, it's a fine deal. Guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, that's right. That's harsh, but either way, if I do nothing, she'll be declared guilty. Kay? Yes? I know what I'm asking of you is unreasonable, but please, I want you to answer me. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Do you remember anything? Anything that will prove your innocence? Why? Why would you go that far for me? I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to remember. Because I might have done something even worse. If that were the case, I would only make things worse for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay Faraday must have been a despicable criminal. Someone who betrayed your trust. Don't worry. We've only known each other for a short while. But I know you very well. I'd even say that I know you better than yourself, now that you've lost your memories. You cannot possibly be the culprit, because your true identity is... Yatagarasu badge, I guess? You're actually the stuffed animal! Oh my god! What a twist! You're the Jammin' Ninja! You always thought you were his fan, but no, it's actually you all along. The great thief Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is a noble thief who would never stoop to murder. Yeah, anything? No, it's useless. Well, after all, no matter what, that memory still remains. This image that's stuck in my head, I just can't get rid of it. That means I must have.
Hold it!
There's no clear evidence to prove that you're the other culprit, besides your own confession. Remember what I said. You must believe in yourself. Or perhaps you cannot trust my words. No, that's not it. It's because you are trying to save someone like me. You've already lost so much, all for my sake. I can't bear it anymore. Please, please just give up. I see now. I thought it was strange. The reason you were acting like you wanted to be found guilty was because you were concerned about me. That is just like you, Kay. It's because you're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Unfortunately, I may fall short of your expectations. I am not trying to be a good person. No matter how much you may want me to give up, I'll keep trying to save you. That is the nature of who I am. Whether or not it is a burden for you is none of my concern. Oh my. Kay, believe in yourself once more. You are a noble, great thief. What you should be doubting is your memory of committing the murder. That is my wish above all else. Please. Kay. What is it? Did you remember something? If she remembers something, now, It'd be like a bad movie. Bull. Bullshit. Bam. But bull? Prosecutor Edgeworth, please ask her to clarify. Well, Kay, what do you mean by a bull? Can I have a Red Bull, please? I'm so thirsty. And tired. I remember now. The person in the red raincoat had that with her. The stuffed bull doll. I'm certain of it. Is that true, defendant? Yes, Your Honor. The court hereby accepts the defendant's statement as a new piece of testimony. Objection! Whoa, why is that fucking objection so weird at the start? Quit messing around, Courtney. A testimony like that cannot be accepted, you know. Your objection has been noted, sir. However, testimony about the victim's belongings has been lacking up until now. Objection! Shut up! Nevertheless, you know, her vague memories cannot be trusted, you know. Her memories are vague. That would be bad for us as well. Didn't you say this earlier yourself, Mr. Chairman? Fuck him up, Courtney! Since we have the suspect's confession, we don't need to worry about the trivial details. If we decide to doubt her memories, then we must also doubt her confession, which is the main foundation of our case. Are you willing to do that, sir? You're right. Well, never mind then, I shall leave it to you. Thank you very much. We did it. It was touch and go for a while there, though. However, those words of Judge Corton just now, it almost feels as if she's on our side. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know anything about the stuffed animal? The stuffed animal Kay spoke of must have been this. We found it in the storeroom. It is believed to be one of the items for the auction. Okay. We can look at it. This is... do you know something about it, Justine? No, it's just a bit different from what I imagined. Indeed, it's certainly not what I would have expected the victim to be carrying. Let's examine every suspicious-looking... Okay. I mean, that's the most suspicious part, right? The left horn is missing. There's a hole in this stuffed animal. It seems this hole is where the horn is inserted into. I guess its head isn't stuffed with cotton. I wonder what's inside. Perhaps I should examine the other side. Perhaps. But let's also examine the cute face. We can't. This white stain there. I guess that's not white, but like pink. A cherry, yep. A cherry blossom petal is stuck in its soft fur. Speaking of which, there were also some stuck on the red raincoat. A cherry tree. Wasn't there one blooming on the viewing platform? Yes, it seems safe to assume this was taken outside. However, why would the victim be carrying something like this? Just for fun, it's cute. Definitely got nothing to do with the case. The right horn seems to be fine, but the entire balance feels a bit off. This horn, it looks like you can move it. What? Bzzz. What was that buzzing sound? It seems this toy is equipped with a recording device. Bzz, bzz, and the... I knew who you were right away. No, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah! Is this the moment of the murder? Who could have recorded something like this? The victim herself. Maybe. Now, there ain't no doubt about it. If this here was what I heard. We cannot verify when these voices were recorded. It's also possible that they aren't related to this case at all. It's hard to believe with that burn mark. If only we had some video as well. That's hogwash, I'm telling you, right, that right there was the conversation that I heard. The victim was holding on to it, right? I reckon it must have been recorded when she got attacked. That certainly is a possibility. However, your testimony alone is insufficient. I require something with a little more credibility. Again, her words. It almost sounds as if she's trying to give me advice. Judge Courtney, there's no mistake that those voices were from the incident. Please recall the audio that was recorded by the stuffed animal. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. If we compare this part of the recording with a certain piece of evidence, we can prove it. Do we have anything other than the autopsy report that shows the burn mark? Probably not, right? Burn mark on the victim's head. It even says so in writing. The autopsy report? And exactly what part of the autopsy report shows that? Burn mark. Do it. I just select burn. Burns. During the moment of the crime. Yeah, well. Good. I remember clearly what the voice said. You can't hide that burn from me. On the victim's hand, there was a burn mark. Indeed, just happened to match up, you see, but what of it? According to Kay's testimony, the victim had been holding the stuffed animal, and it just happened to record a characteristic of the victim, namely the burn. That's just a coincidence. I mean, it could have happened. It could happen, right? I do not think so. It is hard to believe that all of this is simply a coincidence. The voices of the stuffed animal were most likely recorded during the incident. One of these voices must belong to the true culprit. From what we've heard, it must have been the one who was doing the most of the talking. But what's the point? In the end, we still can't tell their gender or identity, you know? Indeed, because they had been using voice changers. It can't be helped. It seems the situation has become quite clear. The conversation Miss Hart overheard was between the culprit and Miss Crane. That's what I've been telling you from the start. And from this, we will understand a new fact. Please enlighten us on then. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Chairman. Do what you want. According to Miss Hart's testimony, just before the incident, 2 people came up from the auction hall using the lift. It must have been the conductor and one of the auction guests. They probably went there to settle the payment after winning a bid. And then it was there that the crime was carried out. So far it seems to line up. Since the auction continued after the crime took place, we were led to a single truth. This is the new fact that we have arrived at. The culprit is the conductor, probably. The culprit is the crane. The victim was the conductor. Since the conductor was the only one who could keep the auction going, we can conclude that the deceased victim could not have been the conductor. Justine? Please be quiet here, okay? If the conductor was not the victim, then they must have been the culprit. Please wait. That alone is insufficient. Of course, even I do not intend to rely only upon the process of elimination. You got a problem, Blaze? Certain traces left at the crime scene led me to believe that the culprit is the conductor. Well then, please show it to us. What were the traces left at the crime scene that let me deduce the culprit is the conductor? The flower... Was there a flower? Oh, the costume trunk maybe? The killer hit the victim in this box of bloodstain? No, we don't have the statement that it was locked. Traces left. Well, there's the blood traces obviously, but that doesn't lead to the conductor necessarily. Conductor wore a white jacket with purple flower, white gloves and a cloth decoration shaped like a purple flower was torn off from the victim's clothes. Is it just the bloodstains? No, didn't think so. But in that case, I don't know. If the culprit was the conductor, they would have wanted to hide something. I just have to present that. Prosecutor to us? No. Oh, maybe the animal? Records audio, someone talking to another person is recorded, no? I guess maybe it is the box? Nope. If the culprit was the conductor, they would have wanted to hide something. I just have to present that. What were the traces left at the crime scene that led me to deduce the culprit is the conductor? The clothes? Like what? At the crime scene. Dude, I have no clue. Three-pronged candelabra. Man, I'm ass at this game. Something that he was trying to hide. Stuffed animal. I straight up don't know. I hate googling answers, but at this point I just fucking, like, I don't have enough life to just try everything, and I hate doing that too. I fucking Google it, man. Case. Turn investigations to... what were the traces left at the crime scene? Hopefully that's enough to find it. Not in here. Walk through. Cool, thanks. Hold on. Sorry about this. Why can't I find it? I don't know, is it the middle or the end or what? No, wait, that's the wrong game. Come on, man. Oh my god, can you stop? Just fucking... rambling on. We investigated that thing. They're not back yet. Autopsy reports. Okay, it's the other bit of blood, I guess. Oops.
Take that!
Come on, man. Like, why wouldn't either bit of blood work? And now from this, I've been kind of spoiled, I guess, that there is one more case after this, I guess. So, cool. The culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom. But literally, why wouldn't presenting the storeroom blood there make work? It leads to the same exact argument. Seriously. That is stupid. Man, I hate when that happens. So we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct? Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor. Well then, do you have any ideas as to who the conductor might possibly be? Oh, obviously. The conductor hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there's a storeroom above it. Haven't we already pointed our finger at him? Or... The conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC. So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it. Isn't that natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC?
Objection!
Stop it. Just stop it already. You are quite capable, I'll give you that much at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see. If by some chance you do have evidence, then why don't you present it? Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit? No. I mean, it isn't showing my life bar, so I feel like I'm probably fine, but I guess maybe we have the conductor's clothes. Those might have, you know, traces of Blaze left. But, you know, he could have used an unused uniform or something. Let's try yes. No, there is evidence. Evidence that you are the culprit. Oh, then why don't you show it to me, the so-called evidence? Blaze the best. This piece of evidence proves that you are the culprit. I don't think I'm onto anything here. I don't think this is gonna work. But yeah, well, didn't think so. But the only reason I even tried was because the health thing didn't show up, so I thought I could just do whatever, but then it did show up and I couldn't back out anymore. Oh well. Yeah, you should understand, but sadly, the game doesn't. Well, you know, I can't say I do. Doesn't look like it's related at all. But it is! Let's just assume it's a freshly washed uniform. There wouldn't be any traces on that. Do I have any evidence that prove it? Nope. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you know. No, I don't. Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there is not a single piece of evidence left to incriminate him. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I always wanted to say that, you know. Well then, Courtney. But we're still... There we go. Wait, I reckon I just remembered something too. What? You also lost your memories? No, that ain't it. Something just popped into my head right now. Very well, please tell me.
Objection.
Shut up, you. Courtney, could you tell me what you are doing? Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I am destroying every possibility, so that he will never oppose us again. Nice excuse. Justine, I don't really know what's going on, but well said. Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine then, let's hear what she has to say. Good job, Courtney. Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed. Sure thing, just leave it to me. Please make sure you only tell the truth. Ain't that a matter of course? I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know. Somehow I feel uneasy. You all said the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets a mite strange, you see. There were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below. You don't mean... That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for. What? Well, that's an interesting fact. Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. I saw it with my own eyes. So it started with 11 people. There were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost? You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know. Were there really no changes in the auction at all? Really, I'm telling you. The auction just went on like normal. But there was one itty-bitty thing, though. What is it? You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady's using over there? An auction gavel, perhaps? Yep, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It had been banging away just prior to it. The sound of the gavel? Does that have anything to do with the case? Yes, of course. It could have been the murder weapon. If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse. Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do. It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be... Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal. Don't get so mad. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout. Or would it? Like you always do. Yes, of course. Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid. Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left? Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report. That kind of thing. I've brought her in. Finally. What's wrong? Why were we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing some compressed stat. Ouch. What did you call me here for? Did something happen? Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax. Tell me what in blazes is going on. That's not the right voice. Of course. We called you here because something came up. Judge Courtney, just what are you planning? Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange. Huh? What's strange? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible. How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth? What do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into her statement like you normally do. Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there. Wait a minute, I didn't do anything. That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony. Why do you want to hear her testimony? It would be pointless. I will be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you. There are patients waiting for us. But Granny! Ouch! Anyway, we don't have time for this. Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify, so please try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering. And yet you were lollygagging about the viewing platform earlier. I promise you this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course. Wow. I'll have some water. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch. I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. Here's what she says. See? There's nothing strange at all. Uh-huh. Yes, that's right. You know, there's no way she would falsify it, you see. Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth? Of course, Granny would never tell a lie.
Objection!
You're not the one who's being asked. We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party. I'd say she's more like a second party. I'm not a third party. I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best be prepared. You best prepare yourself, you ex-prosecutor. I will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. Guess we don't have a choice. Damn, I'm so low on health. Oh boy. There are no mistakes. Well, let's just press again. So you're saying there's no way Dr. Young could have made a mistake? Of course, doctors can't afford to make mistakes. There's a world where just one misdiagnosis can end a long career. I know that my granny, at least, would never... If I did something like that, you think they'd still let me run a hospital? Well, that doesn't seem like an important statement, but let's address it anyway. So in your long career, you've never once made a mistake. A doctor is only as good as the length of their track record. If we're just talking about a lengthy track record, that former chief prosecutor has one too. And yet his actual abilities don't seem to measure up. I hope that you're not the same as well. Ouch, that's a low blow, you know. But you know, Edgeworth, I don't make mistakes either, you see. Because you see, before I can make a mistake, those around me will already have made it instead. You see, I don't have time for mistakes. It's quite amazing, you see, you know. It must be karma. Uh-huh. You can't compare a chief prosecutor with a doctor. You really can't. Ah, okay. Why would you hit her there? The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head. And yet, there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem. Well, that's... Ow. I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning. Oh, is it? The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different. Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax. Relayed to Karen. Please elaborate on that. Well, let's press that again, I guess. I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body. Like we said, ouch. Oh, well, about that. She was done in by a thump to her noggin. Dr. Young, do you know when that happened? Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen, so that's what she should have written in the report. That's what you relayed to her, huh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. Well, I don't think presenting the autopsy report there would be it, so let's press the other things first. Seems like we might not even present anything at all, and just, you know, press the important parts. You may have nothing to gain, but how about your granddaughter? Me? There isn't anything I could gain. If Karen had something to gain, then that girl of yours might have something too. How dare you accuse my little girl, who has never done any harm to anybody? Yeah, aren't you ashamed of yourself? She should address those words to Blaze instead of me. I swear that the autopsy report wasn't falsified. Well, you do. Here's what she says, see? Nothing strange at all. Is that what you think now? Did you notice anything strange when you were performing the autopsy? I wonder... Huh? What is it, Granny? A strange man came by. Who are you calling strange? He wore some really strange clothes. He even had a frilly thing around his neck. Even though he was about to get canned, he still tried to run amok during my autopsy. I'm talking about you, you frilly red brute. I see, so Mr. Edgeworth is a strange frilly red brute. Yes, definitely keep that in mind. Kay, please don't only remember odd things about me. It doesn't look like Granny is lying. Miss Jensen is the one who is relaying Dr. Young's words. I'll have to confirm whether or not Miss Jensen is telling us the truth. I mean, yeah, we've already pretty much No mistakes. Working proper. Relate everything to Karen. But what do we fucking present here? I mean, obviously, the autopsy report is different from those facts. But that's not a contradiction, that's just literally what we said, right? I wish I had more health. More energy, or whatever you want to call it. More exclamation marks. If we want to go back to the very first game in the entire franchise. Seems like it should be the autopsy report, maybe. Unless we can prove that Karen had something to gain. But I don't know how we would prove that. It's also possible that we're supposed to present the autopsy report here, because there's something strange about that. I'm not gonna check the guide. Sorry, but I don't want to fucking game over you. Okay, do present the autopsy report. Okay, well. In that case, I don't feel so bad. This should be the right statement. Yeah. Objection! Nope. Okay, phew, the music usually stops earlier, doesn't it? Fucking playing with my heart here. Toying with me. Dr. Young, please confirm that what this autopsy report says with your own eyes. I read it to you for... Oh. This autopsy report wasn't written by me. What? What do you mean? I mean, we already knew that Karen wrote it for you. But I'm hoping Karen also wasn't to blame. I don't know. Looks like she's behaving rather suspiciously now. But Granny, I can't say that. Maybe we should get somebody else to interpret for her. Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly. Well, there was no need for her to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen. Oh, With that, we have proven that the wound on the head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Of course you would interject there, wouldn't you? Hold on a second, she never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. Yeah, that's more than a teeny tiny mistake. Post-mortem and ante-mortem kind of sound similar, don't you, you know? They are complete opposites. That is the very definition of falsification. Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Kay, ouch. I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that? Granny, but I... Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it. I can't say, I just can't say it. Not I don't want to say it, but I can't say it. You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She's totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for the one tiny mistake. That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies? What are you saying? You see, as former prosecutor, you have to speak a little more clearly, you know. Very well, as you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. She was the true culprit, she was the victim, she was an accomplice. I mean, I guess she was an accomplice here. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit. Ow! This girl's an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim? It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because the victim couldn't have been moved. The number of people wouldn't match. Yeah. The report couldn't have been faked. I mean, that also. I'm gonna check the fucking guide. I'm thinking it's the last one with a chance that it's the middle one, but at this point I don't want to take more risks, you know. Yeah, the number of people wouldn't match. Okay, well. See, good thing I made sure. If the conductor was the culprit, and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident. Just the reason why I put that as like the secondary choice, not the first one, was because they didn't know that there would be a witness. So I didn't feel like they had to falsify the number of people. But I guess they had their reasons. What now? You got a problem with my testimony? Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony. It is because I believe your testimony. That's why an accomplice must exist. So you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong. Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11. Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. But you know, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered? Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques, do they? If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim? I wouldn't. Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit. I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ah, ouch. But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Granny. Yeah. Oh. That was rather explosive. As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice. Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen? Would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny, I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane. So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice? Yes, I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane. The conductor expected an attack from the victim. They were so sure that it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at her own game, and that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Whoa there, you ain't fooling my eyes. If you're waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I'd been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth. I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl who would falsify a report? There should have been many places to hide in the storeroom. Then by all means tell me, where did our little nurse hide? The place in the storeroom where Mr. Jensen hid was, I mean, there's only one place that fits, right?
Take that!
Right? Yeah. She hid inside this costume trunk. Costume trunk, eh? Ah, now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. And it was locked too, so I had to give up. I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk. Yes, it would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction. So then, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom. Yes, that should be right. The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then. You betcha, I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time, though. Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. This is kind of, I'm sure it's gonna come up, but what about the photo? The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane. Took the Miss Jensen, yeah, okay. And returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. I guess she could have just woken up and then tried to climb out, and then the photo was taken. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident? Yes, that's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know. Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus? No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because she stole the victim's clothes. She used the victim's name. She acted like the victim. She stole the victim's clothes? Why not both of these? Or all three? Yeah, it's the clothes. From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. We've already gone over this. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person. Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and ouch! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know, I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered up in the raincoat that was up for auction. Haha. So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened. I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. That'd make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift and to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed the 11 participants, and then I hightailed it back behind the statue. Don't tell me, you were hiding there the entire time until we found you. No, that's... how should I put it? What is it? Did something happen? I didn't mention it before, but after that I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Well, it's something like that. something did happen. It ain't no big deal, kinda embarrassing to say, though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden, I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up, and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time y'all came by the storeroom. I see, so there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point? I guess, but after the auction, all dead masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited through the storeroom just like I done said. Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed? I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty. No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder. Kay. Yes, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went to the rooftop. I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Something along those lines, maybe. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. I mean, obviously. That might have been it, though I reckon it'd be kinda pathetic to faint over something like that. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me, Miss Jensen. Please continue your story. After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. What, 2 people fit in that thing? Holy shit. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence. And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit. I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor. There's still some questions unanswered after all of this. Like, the figure behind the stand and the direction that they came from. In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything. Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back. I want to help you more, but that is all I know. If I had to say, there's just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair out. What kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair? I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough. Both the color and length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had 2 of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. 2 wigs. Why were there 2? Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair. So that means the wavy wig was left unused. Interesting. Is that really all you know? Yes. Yep, that's really all I know. So that means you don't know who the conductor is. I'm sorry, I only knew that person as the auction conductor. But then why would you listen to them? I never saw that person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard towards everybody. At this rate, Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know. In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know. The rule of law cannot be overturned, at least, not for your sake, except what she just confessed completely contradicts Kay being the culprit. Is this as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay?
Objection!
Hey, best girl returns. Yay. Francisca, why are you here? Didn't I tell you, Miss Edgeworth? Wherever there is a case, I will follow. Prosecutor von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. However, I don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path. I understand. You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday. Detective Gumshoe did. Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first. Well, awkward. Well, someone say something. Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that. Already proved? Yes, well, just a few minutes. You should have told me sooner. You're the one who barged in here and started talking. Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already? No, not yet. Is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object, obviously. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem. A cylindrical murder weapon.
Objection.
Jeez, man! No, this report of yours, I trust it's accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors.
Objection.
Stop! That's reassuring, but it's too bad. You have no right. Interpol is after the black market auctions, and I am the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Especially now that she's been murdered. I see. Clever girl, little von Karma. Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found. Heh, just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be. Hey, in my investigation, we didn't find any other murder weapons, you know. If you consider the conductor's possessions and the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was Judge Courtney's gavel, an auction gavel, a judge's gavel, an auction gavel. It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be a murder weapon. The murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough, wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. This piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. That's testimony that we got was this. The conductor prepared wigs. For some reason, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. I guess it's not that one. Didn't we get a testimony that said something, or something was updated, or what? Lotta's testimony, maybe it was hers. Black market auction was being held in the town. 11 people. The auction continued even after the... However, right, the sound of the gavel was not heard. Right. That's what it was. According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it, isn't that right? Blaze the best. I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Well, good luck with that, you know. You've got to work as hard as you can while you're young, you see. He's completely confident that we won't find it. It's because it's hidden in his beard. I don't know. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. Okay. Sheesh. I don't know how much longer this is gonna be. I guess I could check how much the guide has left. Okay, there's one more part after that, I guess. I guess we can go for it. Sure. Let me just drink some more water. I kind of forgot about all those other PSE members being there. Classic Ace Attorney people talking sound. Order in the court. Prosecutor von Karma, your report, please. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict. No, you're not. Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know. The best criminals would never do something like that, you see. I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I go? Yes, it's a shame, you know. But it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know, told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see. And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know, each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know, the stupid look on their face. It's cool story, bro. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law. There's nothing more I can do. With this, both Kay and I are. If only we had some evidence. I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. Is this the end? The defendant, Blaze the Best. I hereby indict you. Courtney! Oh, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago. Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because... I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time I simply could not tell you the truth. What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis. This is slander! Or is it? That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course, there's a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Kama fabricated information regarding the body. That was because the body of the sculptor Isaac Dover had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean? I don't think you should be surprised about your dad being like that, but hey. Detective Lacer, I think it was Lancer, wasn't it? This is either a typo or I misread it the previous times. Who handled the initial investigation reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive the prosecutor von Kama, there's a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared. What? What did you say? That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend the others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report. Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the I-7 incident. She refused. Please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. Oh. That person was the chief prosecutor at the time. Uh-huh. The chief prosecutor 18 years ago. You don't mean... The chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. It was none other than you, Blaze the Best. What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that. Sure he would. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Harsh, but true. Blaze the Best, do you have any rebuttal? Fabricating stuff about the body von Kama did all that on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report? Young, you would actually do something like that? Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know. Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly. Please wait, Granny is... Ouch! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yep, because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me. So Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the Best? That, I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auctioneer conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face. Well, I don't think a mask would hide that beard. Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic. That could be a clue. That's right. The conductor's mask is it exposed just a tiny bit, a part of his face. Shouldn't that mask also expose his frickin' beard? There was a tattoo there. I'm sure of it. Conductor's clothes, A tattoo, you say?
Objection.
Stop! I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know. As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see. Well, maybe lift that beard a bit. So that person doesn't match me at all, you know. The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor. I wonder who it is, you know. You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say. Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess? But she is the goddess, you see. Jer Crane had been pursuing you just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was, you say she was pursuing me. My, I didn't really know her that well, I don't mind girls chasing after me, but I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see. Fuck you. You didn't know the victim well. That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're going to go that far, that's fine, you see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Forever. Every last one of you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. So I guess this is now officially court. Please do not let this chance go to waste. Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Gee-whiz. Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim. That shot looks so fucking crazy with his goggles. The victim, Jerry Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigations Committee, AC. Personally, I didn't really know her that well, Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see. You intend to deny your guilt until the very bitter end, don't you? Of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, He's the very best, like no one ever was. Another cheeky reference. Yes, Sebastian. If you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of all these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes. You really are pure, That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. No matter how much they may look up to him. She would know. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are. This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes. Present time. And we have our health back. If she was a member of the PIC, then you should have been familiar with her. Well, I knew her face, but that's about it, It's not like we met each other on a regular basis, you see. So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim? That's right, I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hands, you see. You didn't know about the burn mark? Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, when they're just gonna disappear, you see. Why would she disappear? In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I would like you to add your statement to the victim's about the victim's burn to your testimony. I only just learned that she had a burn mark on her hand, you see. Do we have anything that contradicts with that? I feel like maybe not yet. I mean, it definitely makes sense that he knows about it now because we heard it here. We haven't looked at this yet. In the year 2000, Manfred from Karma, Gregory Edgeworth, Isaac Dover, Jeffrey Master. Dover's body was discovered inside Mr. Master's mansion. Delicia Stones, Catherine Hall, Dame Gustavia. There are no clues to whereabouts of Dover's son or Gustavia's son, who until the day before the incident regularly visited at Mr. Master's mansion. Okay, I don't think that has anything to do with this yet. But I was wondering when the sun thing would come up again, because obviously an unsolved mystery like that couldn't stay unsolved. That would be fucking weird. Let's just press it for now. Yeah, so you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth? You really are persistent, you know. Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think the burn mark on a victim's hand would be hard to miss. Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see. I understand how sensitive a woman can be about those things, you know. I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. Aha. Maybe she was always wearing gloves in order to hide the burn marks, you know. We definitely have fingerprints on this thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Let's just press again. So you were aware that she always wore gloves? Well aware. Those gloves were practically her trademark, you see. But I guess they weren't just a fashion statement. She wants to hide her burn mark, you see, you know. I wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages. Huh? I'm not hiding anything. I think you are, you know. You're hiding the face of a criminal. Wow. Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose here and now the face of a true criminal. How amusing. Go ahead and try it if you think you can. So Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time. Yeah, that's as I thought. We have something on that. I mean, obviously, there's a moth or something flying around my room, and sometimes it's just a little annoying. Anyway, so we have fingerprints on here, but that's not too weird because they, you know, removed her outfit so that somebody else can wear it. She's not wearing gloves here, which is a little weird, but I don't know if that directly contradicts with it. In fact, I would say it doesn't. Someone talking in another room here. White jacket, purple flower, white gloves, mask, facial tattoo. No. Keycard for entering the PIC meeting room. Maybe it is as simple as the autopsy report. I guess we have full health, so let's try. Nope. Fuck. No, it doesn't. What do you think, Sebastian? Cool. Love it. No, that's not. Much too urge to give up. Why don't I just press everything? Maybe we will get a new piece of evidence out of that. Yeah, we will find your motive. In fact, I mean, we kind of heard it already. You are being pursued. Was there ever any trouble between you two over work? Unlikely, you know. Kind of important, you see. I've gotten reports saying that she was exceedingly capable. But, you know, our social status was completely different, you see. So, we didn't talk much, you know. That may be true, but it doesn't prove that you didn't kill her. Okay, that's not a very important statement, is it? That's rather prejudiced. You know, I mean, look at you. You're taking the side of a criminal. It seems Miss Crane was the one who had an interest in you, Mr. Chairman. You know, that really is a mystery. I haven't the faintest idea, you see. So that's that. Since I had no motive, your reasoning doesn't hold, you see. So you have no clue why the victim had been pursuing you? Nope, not in the slightest, you know. It's because Pops is such a handsome man. It's true, you know. Women appear before me and then disappear and then reappear. You guys could never reach my Pop's level of awesomeness. Oh boy. It would certainly be impossible for a normal person. Having people appear and then physically disappear on a daily basis. Well then, maybe Courtney's going to disappear too. Before that happens, I'll see to it that your way of life disappears today. I see. Then I should finish it before the day's over. I will have to organize my information about the victim. If there's anything you don't understand, you should look over the evidence again. I know. Perhaps you'll find a new fact this time around. Francisca, you're willing to help me. I told you I'm doing this for Kay Faraday, not you. Francisca seems to be worrying about Kay in her own way. I guess we'll go over every piece of evidence. That doesn't seem important. I'll get it back for you, your most precious memory. Ticket stub doesn't seem important to this. Purple flower, shaped like a purple flower, was torn off from the victim's clothes. I don't think that's gonna matter. Someone walked towards her from behind the stand and pushed her off the roof. Key card for entering the PIC meeting room was in the victim's possession. Candelabra, 3-pronged candelabra. Matches the chest wounds. This is not it, we know that for sure. Key card record shouldn't have anything to do with this either. Thanks so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad we can help each other get what we want. That's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Conductor's clothes. The conductor wore a white jacket with a purple flower, white gloves and a mask, has a facial tattoo. Black market auction was being held in the Grand Tower, the items are around. 11 people. The auction continued even after Japan. Nope. Still don't think there's anything about this here that would be of use in this argument. I guess maybe if we check parts that we've already checked before, we'll get new info because, you know, well, I can't skip this. According to case story, this has been dropped down the road. No wonder, yeah. Okay, nothing new there. The left horn is missing. Although I'm curious as to the whereabouts of it. If we find it, repairing it would be no easy task. That doesn't seem to be it either. Worn by the participants of the auction, many different types were provided. Photo of someone in a red raincoat. I mean, she's not wearing her gloves there, that's obvious, but like, once again, that wouldn't really mean anything, would it? photo taken just after the crime. It was taken by Lotta. After the conductor and other person entered the storeroom, one of them suddenly started screaming. Blood on hidden lift. Costume trunk. I don't think either of these red raincoat pieces mean anything here. The conductor prepared wigs so that Butcher Crane could be impersonated. For some reason there was both a straight wig and a wave wig, but was him Peppa. The only things that seem to bear any relevance to this remark would be these. We're supposed to present this stuffed animal, but that... The only reason that would make sense would be if we already know that he is the conductor, but we don't know that, so why would that be the thing that would present? Let me make sure I'm not reading the wrong part here, because that really doesn't make sense to me. That reasoning makes no sense to me, but I'll fucking do it, whatever.
Objection!
That is... I don't have to see what the game has to say about it for itself, because that seems fucking stupid. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recorded in the stuffed animal once more. So she didn't wear gloves that one time. Wow, what a huge contradiction. Yeah. We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit. Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know? Heh, there's a huge problem with that. I guess the... but... Okay, I guess I see where it's coming from now. The burn mark is on the, is the one on the mask of the guy. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand. Syracuse seems like a bit of a stretch, maybe, to say that there. Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have taken them off during the auction. That's not true. See, if we had had this information earlier, then all of this would have made sense. But see, Edgeworth's reaction there proves that I was not incorrect with my, complaints, let's call them. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before that she was murdered. What are you saying? Don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow it seems like you all want to disappear. Somehow it seems like... Oh wait, there wasn't a new text box. The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best. Hey, how dare you say that, Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not? It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you? The culprit also had a burn mark, the victim. There weren't any burn marks! No. Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's? But burn mark? Precisely, the culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew you were right away, you can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim. What?
Objection.
Stop with that. Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up until now was just a figment of your imagination, you know. The culprit had a burn mark. Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know. Where was the culprit's burn mark? I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise? Indeed, during the auction everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was visible under those conditions, then... No. Well, why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see. Well, I mean the conductor, right? Was she the one who saw the burn? No, wait, that was Karen, right? There was both the straight and no? Okay, well, I guess it was Lotta. Why did I choose to scroll through it like this? The auction continued. No, wait. Where was it again? Somebody's statement had that burn mark in it, right? Oh, wait, it's here. Here. That's where it is. Yeah.
Take that!
Well, facial tattoo burn mark. You know what I mean. It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time. What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
Objection!
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo. Ah, a burn mark on his face?
Objection.
You know something, don't you? That's all very scintillating, but I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know. None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see. Naturally, that includes me as well, you know. Huh? Perhaps? But... Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know. Jeez, almost swallowed, what's it called? Got my own saliva in my windpipe, so let me drink something real quick. Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. Harsh, but not incorrect. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's now own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. I know who that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to. I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor. Usually, Sebastian's slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal. Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissful in this ignorance. Kay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. It doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes, the important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time I shall show you the truth. You are innocent. I also Want to know the truth? Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me more. Please tell me. Yes, that's the spirit. That's impossible, you know, for all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? It's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you see. That's right. There's no contradiction at all. There's no way there can be a contradiction, not for my parts. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever. Pops, what should I do? Huh, I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know. Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see. You gotta use your head, you know. Honestly, you really are a useless idiot. No way. But I tried real hard. I tried my best, Pops. I went to the school you told me to go to, reached the top of my class just like you told me to. Just look at this jacket. Only someone who graduates at the top of the class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to. That's how I got to be the best at the academy. And you probably didn't earn that, did you? But you didn't know that you didn't earn it. I even won all those awards, just so I could be like you, Pops.
Objection.
Burning those awards. You really are such an idiot, you know. You know those gold stars you got on your tests? I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all of the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you're really not worthy of being called my son, don't you think? You're making this really easy for him to turn on you. Ah. Well, it was about time he found out the truth. And that's gonna be how he gets better, becomes a better person. Oh, even my son has disappeared. Oh my, it's enough to make me cry, you know. He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know. You are truly a despicable person. As the chairman of the PIC and as a father. Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor. Or Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best. You, just what do you think you're of your own son? He's just useless pawn, you see. Whoa now, maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know. I mean, even you also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you? I cannot deny that, however. He is not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par. Yeah, Courtney was pretty nice to him. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to even acknowledge it.
Objection.
That kid is no good, you see, no matter what he does, or is told to do. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall leave this offering to the goddess of law to you. Deliver her divine judgment against Blaze the Best. Yes, that was my intention, from the very beginning. If there was a burn mark on the conductor's face, then Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? That is the key to revealing the truth. Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Please show the piece of evidence that proves the culprit had a burn mark on his face. I mean, this was the clue, but can't be the evidence. Does it? Can it? We have another... no wait. Does this say anything about burn marks? There are no clues to whereabouts of Dover standing incident. Do they really want me to present the the doll again? Surely not. But nothing else seems to really point to it, does it? Well, I guess I'll try. Nope. Blah 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 blah. You don't blah blah. I don't understand it at all. Plays the best, even you. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. There's one clear difference between the conductor and Blaze. He should be hiding the burn mark there. Now all I need to do is present the evidence that shows it. I guess the outfit again, instead of the doll. Just let me do it. Right, the clothes. Maybe the gloves on the clothes. Even though that wouldn't be the burn mark on his face, so the mask, I guess. But like, you know, he's not wearing a mask right now, is he? I'm gonna go with the clothes. Cool. Fine, I'll check the frickin' guide. Oh, man. Man. Okay, I wish I had thought of that. Because I was thinking, see, I was literally thinking that that his beard was fake, because obviously he can't easily hide a burn mark on his face unless it's under that beard. But the event was so recent that the beard couldn't have grown since then. But I didn't remember that there's two wigs. I had the right idea, but I didn't remember the fucking evidence. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's a cool idea. I just didn't remember the fucking evidence. God damn it. If you would recall Miss Jensen's testimony, there's still one point that remains unexplained. Two types of wigs had been prepared, one of which was left unused. Do you mean the wavy wig? What are you talking about? It was something Miss Jensen found when she switched places with the victim. What does something like that have to do with the burn? Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed two wigs. One of them had been used by Miss Jensen to make her look like the victim. Now then, just what was the other wig used for? It doesn't seem like it was a spare wig. There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit to the conductor with that of Blaze the Best. Don't stare at me like that. Don't you think there's just one spot where there is a huge contradiction? Specifically around his face? So that's not a wig at all. Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard. This is a real beard, you know. Don't tease me like that, Edgeworth. Your son must have realized the truth before anyone else. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried that you would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew that his father was hiding a burn under his fake beard. Blaze the best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Man, I literally had that idea. God, I'm so sad about myself. Oh well. It's a skull burn. Ah, a burn mark. Prosecutor Edgeworth, justice has been served before the goddess of law. For that, I give you my thanks. I should be the one thanking you. Blaze the best, I hereby announce my verdict. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane. Yay. See, this is why I don't like looking up answers on guides, because once I've done it once in a case, I just fall back onto it too easily. Oh well, that's just my own fault. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you very much. I'm so happy that you believed in me to the very end. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor. No, as a friend, I simply wanted to save you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I bring good tidings. It seems that former Chairman De Best has been safely detained in the detention center. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Blaze De Best is a shrewd man. There's a good chance that he has already disposed of it. There's also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaze De Best mentioned that the only thing he did not fake were the letters. What do you mean? You know, those letters. First he found this letter in Jill Crane's clothes. Then he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of the letters seem to suggest that the two had been corresponding with each other. Which is why Blaze De Best assumed that the two were working together. Ridiculous, that can't be right. After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday. In order to cast suspicion on her, he planted one of the letters in a noticeable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's left breast pocket. Isn't that just an excuse? Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the gods of law, these are all trivial matters. His crime shall certainly not go unpunished. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions. Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaze De Best murder Jill Crane? And what lies hidden behind this case? Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. The feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaze. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead. I see, so that's what happened. While the goddess of law cannot condone her actions, we have succeeded in her goal of bringing Blaze De Best's crime to light. So Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaze De Best and reveal the dark secrets of the PIC. By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Do you have any idea where he might be? I had not been truly working for him, so... I see. I feel very sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel reality is, he will have to accept it. If he can't, he won't be able to walk his own path in life. Yeah, ever. A father's influence is not something that is easily erased. However, I'm sure he will be able to change from here on out. Yes, that's right. Surely, you must be right. Will I too be able to walk my own path in life? Of course. Okay, is your body alright? Yes, thank you. I'm so sorry, even though you're my patient. You ended up getting suspected because of me. Ouch! You can't just take care of the patient's body. You gotta take care of the heart too. That's my granny. Kay, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Well then, I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. That would be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Who's in charge of the defense? Who's in charge of the defense? Miss Crane was supposed to be her defense attorney, but now that she has passed away, we are currently arranging for a replacement defense attorney. Jill Crane had been in charge of Patricia Rowland's defense. I'll also have to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since he's the prosecutor in charge. Well then. Please wait. What about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutor's badge? What will happen to his prosecutor's badge? With the chairman's arrest, the PIC is no longer functional, so I cannot answer that question easily. Perhaps one could say only the goddess of law knows. But that's... You don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen. It seems you have no plans to change it either. Of course not. I chose this path to seek the truth. With the departure of Blaise the Best, the law has once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the prosecutor's path, I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge. I appreciate the sentiment, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings. I see. It seems that our paths of law will continue to run counter to each other. Until our paths cross once again, I shall have you hold on to that badge. That was my intention from the start. However, on occasion, the goddess of law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner. Kay's promise notebook. It seems this was scheduled to be put up for bidding at the black market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook. It seems Blaise the Best quickly realized this belonged to the girl, since the letters he found also contained the same name. You speak as if he really did not know about the letters. Are you saying that Blaise really did not prepare the letters himself? Yes, that man said so himself. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction, or so he says. Unfortunately, this was all Blaise's misunderstanding. It was purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay really were acquaintances, it would be strange that she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality. You really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring, but it's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the goddess of law desires. That's, I appreciate it. I shall pray that she recovers her lost memories. Bye-bye. Is something wrong? Okay, I am returning something very important to you. POV, Edgeworth is giving you your notebook. This is... Wow. Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Look, Daddy, I wrote them all down. Yep, I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you, Daddy. Ah, that's right. There was one more. I forgot to write down the most important promise. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I'll be sure to remember. I'll never ever forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right. I am... I am the great thief who steals the truth, Kay Faraday. I am the second Yatagarasu and Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Hey, isn't that nice? Kay, you remember. It's kinda embarrassing though. Thank you so much, it's all thanks to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you were still always trying to save me, right? It seems you're back to normal. Well, okay, you've gotten better. Your health comes first, now you can relax. Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again. Ah, Miss Jensen, Dr. Young. Thanks for worrying about me. Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes? Now, I washed your clothes for you, Kay, so they're nice and clean. These clothes. Wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding onto them? He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me. Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet? To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask about that. Now, more importantly, let's hurry up and get you changed, Kay. Still, isn't it better if we do not remove her bandages? Ah, she should be fine now. Kay just bumped her head. She didn't really have any other major injuries. Then why was she so heavily bandaged? Better safe than sorry. A pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. That's my motto. What a troublesome motto. Come on, Kay, let's get you dressed up over there. Now, this is definitely what a great thief should look like. A smile certainly suits you best. Man, I don't have the fucking vocal repertoire for all these characters. All at once at least. Holy shit. In the past and now as well. Miss Von Karma, thank you for coming too. I only came because Scruffy asked me to. That's Scruffy. He always wanted to see your energetic self again. Also. Gummy! What happened to Gummy? Who knows? Maybe he was disgusted with the man who willingly threw away his prosecutor's badge. Detective Gumshoe. I must be going soon. I'll be taking these ladies in for questioning. What's going to happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney, the other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. Those crimes definitely won't disappear. Of course, I will mention in court that they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine as long as Granny's by my side. We're invincible. Well then, take care. Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon right after you regained your memories, but I have some questions. Sure, ask me anything you want. What were you doing on the day you lost your memories? On that day, I was asked to come to Gord Lake. I don't know who called me there, though. As I was watching the moon at Gord Lake, a person in a red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out. What? What is she saying? The place where Kay saw the moon was at Gord Lake. Now we have that mystery solved, finally. When I woke up, it seems I somehow ended up on the roof of the Grand Tower. My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapsed. I was startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. And when I woke up, all my memories were gone. The person in the red raincoat, who exactly is that person? Oh yeah, I was certain that I saw them walking in midair. Somehow this is all starting to make my head hurt. Please calm down. You're just a little confused because you've only recently gotten your memories back. Most likely this is the main cause of your confused memories. You fell in a hole, your memories of 2 places, your name on the notebook. I mean... memories of 2 places. Because, you know, they didn't walk on air, they walked on water? On ice, maybe. No, it's April. Well, you know, there was something on the water, anyway. This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. You saw the moon at both the Gourd Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop. Which led you to confuse the 2 places. Huh? But aren't they totally different places? Even if I was in a daze, do you really think I'd get them confused? Most likely there was something at the Grand Tower which led to your confusion. Was the cherry tree or the thing? I don't know what's at Gourd Lake. Something at the Grand Tower. I feel like she might have been standing under a cherry tree in that shot that we just saw at Gourd Lake. I don't know, man. The Grand Tower rooftop and Gourd Lake have 2 points in common. They both have a cherry tree and a food stall, okay. Now that you mention it. Your memories were confused because you had been in 2 similar locations. The person that you first saw could not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground at Gourd Lake Park. Or that, yeah. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower rooftop. So that was what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? They'll pay for this. Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. The person in the red raincoat, who appeared at Gourd Lake. Yes, hello. What's that noise? It sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Miss Edgeworth, let's go check it out. What's this? My shutterbug sense tingling. Smell me another scoop. You're still here. Why are we walking so slowly? April 6th, almost 10 AM. So? Oh, that transceiver there. Miss Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing here is what's beeping. This transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before? Beep, beep, beep. It's still beeping, Miss Edgeworth. I'm not particularly familiar with this sort of device. Come on, we have to answer it. Here goes. Hello, Edgeworth speaking. Hey, please don't just answer it on your own. I am speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume. This voice is Miss Shelley the Killer, isn't it? Yep. I congratulate you on resolving the case, however. I don't remember what voice I gave him in the first case, but that's fine. Can you truly say in good conscience that it has been solved? Are you aware of the mastermind who is pulling the strings behind this incident? You? Why do you know about the incident? That's not important right now. Wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind this case. I've had an inkling that such a person existed, even before you said anything. Sure you did. After all, there was evidence to suggest that someone had used Kay to disrupt the investigation. Huh? There was? So, who's the mastermind? I would like to hear your thoughts on that matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind? Well, there's the ladder, maybe. The missing stuffed animal horn. The IS-7 incident. They already brought up the letters themselves, right? Or no, they didn't directly. Well, we haven't done anything with the IS-7 incident, have we? That doesn't seem like a great reason to do this. Indicates the existence of a mastermind. Well, I think it's the letters, right? Maybe? The bloody letter would be more likely that. Yeah. Because she probably didn't. The other letter might be real, but this one... probably not. It was the letter that Kay allegedly sent to the victim. Come to think of it, I don't remember writing that letter at all. Who could have prepared this letter? I too am quite curious to know. So you're not the one who wrote the letter. What could I possibly gain from doing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadows. This man, how does he know that? Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now then, if you'll excuse me. Okay. He said the case wasn't solved yet. What did he mean by that? And why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Nothing makes sense anymore. This case has not reached its true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth, I swear it. Okay. Well, I do like this, twist, I guess, that we that we have more reason to go on and that there's something else and stuff. No, look, it's Sebastian as the silhouette. Anyway, we're definitely not going to do that today because, holy moly, as I mentioned many times, all this voicing and reading out loud and stuff, really tiresome. But anyway, I don't know if it's just because I'm like playing this like while recording and like I'm more conscious of my own mistakes or something. But like I feel like I'm making more mistakes than usually when playing these games. And also I feel like there's more uncertainties that you're supposed to just bet on in this one than in the, mainline Ace Attorney games, which I'm not a fan of. But once again, that could just be me misjudging it. I don't know. But yeah. There's one more thing left, and we'll do that some other time. So thank you for watching and hanging out and hiding your disgusting burn mark. It's not disgusting, I'm sorry I said that. You don't need to hide your burn mark. It's fine. Anyway. See you later. Bye bye.